Welcome to the ElDonko Podcast. What's going on, guys? This is the ElDonko Podcast with your hosts, Jacob McDonald, and
Justin Tackett.
all right. So this very special episode for the very special people in our class is going to be given out to oral communications, a class that Justin and I both take together. We even sit next to each other.
Yeah. And Jacob likes to make claims about homeless people and how we need to get rid of them. But
And how
today
just
we will be talking about our favorite subject, our favorite thing to do in life, and that is gaslighting. Jacob, what is
yes.
gaslighting?
Gaslighting is where it's a government program where it's like, you've heard like Operation, so and so. It's like Operation Gaslight. It's kind of like where they try and uh, sneak chemicals into soda brands because they know that America likes to drink, soda. It's one of the most popular drinks. And they've been using it to control our minds for the
I,
past
I'd
couple of
say,
years.
I'd say, no offense. I think you're making that up. I don't think that's real. I
What?
think the actual definition of gaslighting, Jacob, is not the FBI but the CIA, and it's their secret little plan to kill multi-billionaires and make them seem like suicides. But that's for another topic. Let's just get
Oh,
into the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
real
I mean,
things.
it's kind of the same thing if you really think about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it is because billionaires they drink soda,
I mean,
and then everybody
you've
else
seen the
does.
pictures, Don't, former presidents have talked about how much they love Diet Coke. I even think there was
They
a
do.
post on Twitter where Elon shared a picture of his bedside table where he had two guns and a couple of caffeine-free Diet Cokes.
Yeah, well, have you seen the photo of where Elon is really pale? Have
Yeah,
you
yeah,
seen
yeah.
where he took his shirt off and drank a Diet Coke and like some deep sea water creature, you could see the darkness go through his body and spread through his veins.
Yeah, but it
So he's just
wasn't.
a white body with black everywhere.
Yeah, but it was kind of like it wasn't like very like obvious, if you know what I mean. Like you couldn't even really like see it. You had to really look for it, and it took a couple of red circles and arrows pointing to it for me to be able to see it, if anything. Because as you know, uh, I have bad cataracts, so I can't really see well.
Yeah. I think mainly the whole like just the arrows and everything that really helped me see it,
Yeah,
but I think it's more the sound effects that you hear is really what sells it. So like when you just randomly hear like that's how you know that he's got Diet Coke in his veins.
yeah, and you could also like, it was also weird when Elon like bought Twitter, which I know is sort of news right now, as you can kind of call it that, I guess. When he bought it, he released a tweet, and it's his eyes went like just completely black, and well, not really black. It kind of looked like a cosmic thing, if you know what I mean. Like if, as you can see, as the viewers can see right now, you can kind of just it kind of looked like this. You know what I mean? Which this was this. I mean, this is kind of chosen intentionally, but we'll get to this story later. We'll get to the background later. But he had like these eyes, and it was just you could only hear one sound. It was just like it was just kind of weird. It was kind of just a weird thing.
But so have you seen his like recently deleted tweet from Elon Musk himself? He
No.
said that he is the Messiah and that he's the one who started to drain the Euphrates River just to prove how much he loves God and that he's doing God's work.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it's just interesting all the crazy things that are happening in our world. I mean, even in our personal lives. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like there's so many things going on right now that we're just getting gaslighted on.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
the government's just controlling our minds essentially.
they're controlling our minds and making us think that the
Things that,
people around us are our friends and that they're actually not trying to steal all our icy pops from the freezer.
yeah, and they're not exactly just figments of your imagination, or they're not, just, I mean, I don't even know if you're real. Who knows if I'm talking to you for real? You know what I mean? Like,
I I mean, personally, I feel like I'm not in a white room being locked up for being crazy right now, but I never could tell you if that's true.
I'll tell you one person who's locked up though. My dad. Or, well, my real dad.
Your real dad. I still love Jared though. In my opinion, that's your dad.
Yeah, I mean, I knew my dad a little bit. He was arrest, well, not really arrested, but taken to prison in 2010. I was 5. Yeah, it wasn't my birthday yet. I was 5,
You're about
and
4.
no, I was born in 2004, dude.
I know you're about 4.
No, no. Okay, whatever. Stop. You know, but I mean, I've met him a few times. I didn't really know him too much growing up. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, but
it was fairly quick when my mom and dad, or my stepdad, sorry, got married after he, was taken to prison. It was, you know,
well, no offense to your mother, but when your husband gets locked up, who are you gonna turn to? His business partner or somebody on the streets?
exactly. I think it'd be better if you turned to a business partner because, I mean, she was already around him a fairly decent amount. Because if
And
it was just
he
some
didn't
random guy off the street, it wouldn't exactly click. Because, I
and
mean, you never know. Like, random guys off the street, they may even be homeless and tricking you, which is why
yeah,
I do not trust the homeless. I mean,
I
you know the
this
story
is
of what I did to one, right? Why don't you tell it?
Alright. Are you talking about the time when you gave him $1 and for McDonald's food and they were begging for a second dollar just so they could get, a breakfast sandwich or something, and they went into the bar and bought some alcohol and you walked up to them and just spat right in their face
I
because you
mean,
were so
yeah.
upset with them.
Well, I mean, because with that situation, I mean, what are they really even gonna do, right? I mean, they're homeless. Like, in more than likely, if they're homeless, they probably are like have a felonious charge against them, and more than likely they will be arrested more than I would because it's their word against mine, and
And who has a yacht?
I'm the one with a home.
That's right. Yeah, I feel bad for homeless people, but same time, I swear, this is not even like I'm saying this straight from my heart. I believe half homeless people have a suit on when they go out to like beg for money. They put some rags over them and then they just rip it off and have a suit under and then get in their Rolls Royce.
Yeah, because I mean, panhandling, as it's called, is, a very popular method of making money because I mean it's not too hard, not too difficult because I mean I've heard that you get fairly decent money and it's
Yeah,
untaxed income.
which isn't that crazy?
Mhm.
How we have our society set up, how the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Um,
And the
Rich
middle get
people
middler.
take out That's right. Rich people take out loans and they don't have to pay taxes on their loans, so they're just laundering their money and they're just making more money while the poor pay their taxes and get all their money taken from them.
It's the best way I can describe it is the rich just I mean most rich people are smarter. I mean of course this is idiots that you hear about like those stories and such, but the rich are smarter than most people because you could be, a lot of them used to be poor, and some of them would just take out massive loans and then just buy the bank itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a lot of rich people, they're part of Project Gaslighting. So they manipulate everything in life to really rise up in the ranks.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
why, don't tell anybody else don't tell the government I'm saying this, but I'm actually a part of it. And in about 4 to 5 years, I might own my own business. see what happens when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that you don't know. I mean, as far as you know, I'm just a regular high school kid who's rarely
Kid?
does homework.
All right, I think we need to air out some dirty laundry here. I think everybody should know by now you're not a kid. You're actually about 22,
Yeah,
but you just have so much baby face that I can sneak you into school and everybody's like, "Yeah, it's just Jacob."
yeah. Or as, a lot more people would know me as, hey, this is J-Mac.
Or that guy who just towers over me at every waking second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, most of it's not even real. I won't lie. I do wear lifted shoes. I mean, I won't lie. I actually did, those things that they do for smaller people who have they would just break their bones and like extend their legs. I did
Yeah.
that a couple of times. Because I
Sorry,
mean,
I think there's a government bug on my mic. You gotta just okay. I think I got it.
yeah, was that your flamethrower? Your Elon Musk flamethrower?
Yeah, it kind of busted. I have to fix it.
That's cool. I mean,
With
I
no
mean, that was
flames.
kind of cool. It's kind of cool
I'm
that you're
fuming
one of the
gases
few
in
who
my
got
room.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
just fuming gases in my room.
yeah. I mean, hopefully they don't light on fire. Aha,
You
get
know,
it?
if my light goes off, just know it's the CIA.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
when I die,
Do you
if I ever look like I died, I didn't.
have you
I
ever
probably
watched
just
Fight Club?
left. Huh?
Have you ever watched Fight Club?
Uh, no, I've never heard of Fight Club before,
Really?
like ever. Probably, yeah,
Oh,
never.
yeah. So it's a crazy movie about this man who has an alter ego, and they make a fight club and make like a cult basically, and they blow up. Well, spoilers. They blow up, um, like the credit card companies and reset everybody's debt.
Mm.
And what's actually crazy is everybody sees it as fiction, as a just a movie that everybody loves to watch time to time. But this actually happened in Cuba, and it's just a reiteration of it, and everybody doesn't the government won't let them know that the government caused that in Cuba. They put a sleeper agent in there and caused them to just reset their whole economy, and that's why they just suck at
Yeah.
money.
I mean, Cuba itself doesn't have much money, because everybody's like, oh, a lot of Cubans would rather trek the 300 miles from offshore to like I mean, that's about as close as they can get. They're willing to risk that much distance between us that to just come over here just for a better chance at life. And honestly think that's kind of beautiful in a way.
Yeah, it's beautiful until we have the twisted people of America
Yeah, the
try
twisted
to
freaking psychopaths.
the freaky psychopaths.
Hmm.
One side they're an angel, one side they're a devil.
You never know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates, which is actually what my
Yeah.
dad used to say to me all the time.
Really?
Yeah, well, he said that's about as much as I remember from him. Was just like he would always tell me a lot of these almost like idioms. I think that's what they're called,
Yeah.
where like life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, and I always thought it was cool that he came up with that all on his own. And he just had a lot of other ones that I'm kind of just blanking on right now. I can't really, you know, understand, but you know,
Yeah. My personal opinion on idioms is I kind of feel like they're just idiotic.
that's funny, bro. I mean, that's kind of, oh, that's
Sorry,
kind of funny.
I kind of want to pursue comedy when
Yeah.
I get out of the gaslighting project. if I
Yeah,
do.
you never know. Because I mean, sometimes it's one of those things where you might be in it for life, and you can never escape it, really.
I mean, I'm in it for life until they decide that I'm a crypto billionaire that needs to be taken down.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna get a bunch of Instagram models dancing on your yacht.
Yeah,
I mean, that'd be
I'm
kind of
gonna
cool.
wash up on shore in Puerto Rico.
I think that'd be cool. Well, you're gonna like wash up there in like all those movies where they're wearing suits, but their tie's missing. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. They got a secret code on their handkerchief.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, what
You
is
know,
this?
I think it would be kind of rude for me to, what is his name? The actual like crypto billionaire who got killed, um, and all that. I can't remember his actual name, but either way, he washed up on the shores of Puerto Rico. So I think
Yeah.
I'd be stealing his thunder if I did that.
Well, no, maybe you could make it bigger than he ever made it because, I mean, that happens all the time. A lot of just dead bodies will wash up, but you only hear about the big ones. Why not make you the biggest one of all?
Yeah, I mean, if you really want me to, I can start eating a lot and get my own show in TLC.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, honestly, if I was on my 600-pound life, not as the 600-pound person, because, I think I'd probably just, kill myself before then. But, if
Hello?
I was like one of the kids and
Hello?
it was,
Am I interrupting something?
Yes, you are.
no, not really. I mean, you
Are you
can,
guys doing the podcast?
We're talking about gaslighting right now
yeah,
about
the
the
gaslighting
secret,
project.
like, see, I think it's the CIA trying to kill
Sh-
crypto billionaires, and Jacob thinks that it's the FBI trying to
Drug
drug
sodas.
us. Yeah,
You guys sound very serious right now.
I,
no, we are.
I mean,
This is
yeah.
like we're talking about
Alright,
people dying, but
I'll leave out of respect for you guys, so uh, good night, guys.
good night.
Good
I hope you
night.
guys have a good discussion.
You too.
You two, Dominic Doan. See, I just had to name drop just so everybody in the world knows
Knows.
who just invaded a government secret talk.
Yeah. Because I mean, if anything, we're both government officials.
Yeah,
Because I
we're
mean,
gonna find
we're both for different reasons. But
Dom might start dropping an IQ in about 2 days.
maybe you
I
might
think
see
the
him start
sodas will
acting
take
a little bit
effect.
different. That's normal. Because
You know,
sometimes you just gotta forget things.
his Asperger's will no longer just be an inside joke. It will be clear as day to everyone in the world,
Yeah.
which is true. He has Asperger's.
Yeah.
But Jacob, I think on TLC you would really be just that little guy. You know, that little guy. You're
Just
just the
a
guy
little
that
itty bitty guy. Yeah.
you're
Because
the
I mean, if I
you're
was
the
on
itty bitty
TLC,
guy.
the reason would be because I was super short. You know, I think that'd be the
Yeah,
best way.
I
Cause
think I think you'd be the guy who wait, Shauna Ray?
artificially made himself tall.
Is it no, is it Shauna Ray, the person who got cancer and stopped growing at the age of 8? She looks like an 8-year-old, but she's actually 24. I
Oh.
think you would be Shauna Ray's boyfriend just because you're a little itty bitty guy. Like
Mhm.
you're her size. You
Mhm.
know, all these episodes that are very I wouldn't say they're really safe for TV. You know, they put her like on Tinder and her going to date some random men that might like people of her stature, put it that way. So I think you would be the perfect match for Shauna Ray.
Yeah. It would be but honestly, like to be real, it sucks to be in her position because she wants to like get a boyfriend, but she doesn't want one that's like likes her because she looks like an 8-year-old. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah, and I actually feel very bad for her because she just wants to be treated as an adult, but she has to flash her ID anywhere she goes, and she still gets crayons at her local food
Denny's.
places, her Denny's. Dude, we should have recorded this podcast in a Denny's.
I know. I mean, we could have their world famous century eggs. Have you ever had
We could
that?
have.
It's like a secret menu item, but I don't know if have you heard of
Really?
century eggs?
I heard of century eggs, yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
just so you guys in the audience understand, Century eggs are actually eggs like they're kind. It's like a Chinese cuisine. They are eggs that are taken. I think they're duck eggs, and they're buried in the ground for 100 days, and then they're dug up for. And it's. I mean, it's kind of interesting. They have a really nice taste. I won't lie. I've had a few.
It's acquired
Acquire.
taste, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
kind of. It's almost like spice, if you know what I mean. Like you could either you can handle spice or you can't. It's one of those things.
Do you remember Donkey Ball? I don't know if
Donkey
that's
ball.
happening
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
at West, right?
So, well, it's at the high school too.
Is it?
Um, I think it is just at the high school alone. Either way, Donkey Ball. I think we should get our mascot, the ElDonko, to
Mm-hmm.
participate and show his true strength to
I,
all the
th-
people.
I think it'd be amazing if our mascot was there, and then he could go against Victor Viking. You could have Victor going charge, and you could just have
Just our donkey kick
Donko
him.
just going.
Yeah, and just kick the crap out of him.
Yeah, because I mean, well, I think it'd be more of a fair fight because donkeys have like a good kick power, but Vikings have those huge swords, that they had to wield with like two hands almost.
Yeah.
They're usually like about as big as they are. And Vikings were huge, man.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, our interpretation of gaslighting is the true definition, but what the government wants you to know, what they want you to think it is that all it is just a psychological manipulation, and that where you try to tell people that what they're saying is not real, and just the abuser just wants to confuse the victim and instill self-doubt.
Yeah, one of my
But
favorite things to do is because I mean it's now a popular phrase. If someone's like, "Dude, I think you're gaslighting me," I just tell them, "What's that?" This kind of sounds like a made up word that you're just
yeah,
using.
like you have to ask that as like, because you're a person of the FBI, you need to know if they know. You need to know
Yeah.
if you need to
Because, I mean, it could be one
abolish.
of those like TikTok things, you know what I'm talking about, where they just make up phrases, but they're actually just like very, very close to what they actually are,
Yeah,
like actual things,
like one of those TikTok things where they walk around in a high school asking people what their favorite lunches are,
or what
and
they're, who's your crush,
or
and
who's your crush,
go up to that crush and say, "Do you like
or
this
walk up
guy?"
to the person after they've been quote unquote like
And you can just see the enchantment in their eyes.
like a young Filipino man that we know. He got
Yes.
rizzed up by a woman, and
Ooh,
he couldn't say anything.
he
They
couldn't
asked him
handle it.
about track, and he was like, mm, I don't know.
Gulp.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. I think that's
freaking ridiculous.
it's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah. So going off of the definition, the quote unquote definition of gaslighting, what is the greatest act of gaslighting you have seen in your own life?
Well, it's actually one that's kind of just going on right now, and I'm gonna clue you in on it. But uh, and recently when we've just been playing Overwatch, recently Dominic's been taking a special interest in it, which I don't understand. But uh, you know, when I was sick, my mom had to get these Tylenol tablets, or my quote unquote mom got me Tylenol when I was feeling bad, and and as a joke, I was like, "Hey guys, this is my medication," and like I, you know, did that, and people, they're like, "What's the medication for?" And I was like, "Oh, my autism." And they're like, "Really? That's crazy." And
Didn't you
they,
tell some people that was Vicodin?
huh?
Didn't you tell some people it was Vicodin?
Uh, I was mostly just messing with people when I was just like, "Yeah, this is Vicodin." I pop a few Vicodin a day.
Yeah. And I want to spin back. You said your quote unquote mother. Are you implying that you're a test tube baby?
What a test tube baby.
Are you
It's like
implying
you
that
know how these
you're
government
not?
projects they'll just set you up with a family, but it's
Yeah,
like a
but
cover.
Are you implying that you're actually 6'7" because they wanted to test out a super soldier and you were just one of the off batch?
Hmm. They wanted to see what they could push the human body, the limits,
They
and
got they got your stature and everything, but they didn't get the muscle. That's why you threw your back out, squatting some weight.
yeah, I know. And I was kind
So
of just walking around like, like a wise old sensei. You know what I mean?
yeah, you lost like about 3 inches from how much you slouched. Um, so I think that is a very funny way to gaslight, quote unquote, to the government definition, gaslight people. But
Hmm.
I think the biggest gaslight of my whole career, my whole life, is very true. This is true. This is not a lie. My mother convinced everyone around her that for 2 years she had lung cancer. And everybody believed her because she smoked cigarettes, but it just gave her an excuse to, get money off of some people to buy more cigarettes,
Get donations.
get donations.
I mean,
But
she
she
was. I
believed
mean,
that
your
for
mom. I
two
mean,
years.
your mom was the kind of person to have you crush her pills for her. So I wouldn't put it
Yeah.
past her.
All the dust I inhaled actually made me forget the majority of my
Youth.
childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually what caused you to miss over 100 days in, was it sixth grade?
Seventh grade, for basically a semester and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you came in, and then the first person you met was Cole
A
Simmons.
man?
But then after that, you met me.
Yeah, no, I met you and thought, this is a guy who is shorter than me and is pretty funny and a little redonkulous, as what I would say back in the day. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, or as many would call me, I mean, that's what they're called, a jackass. You know what I mean? Like a donkey, get it? Because it's the ElDonko Podcast.
Wait a second. I think I'm getting a phone call. Jacob.
Yeah?
Jacob, where are you?
What do you mean?
Jacob, I thought I was talking to you on the podcast.
Hmm?
Where are you?
I told you, I was doing homework. Well, then we're gonna do it after.
Who am I talking to?
What do you mean?
I gotta go.
Oh, okay, man, I'll see you.
Sorry, that was my grandma. Um, I mean grandpa. My grandma's not alive. You know that.
Yeah,
Um,
unfortunate story. And then also honestly, one of the funniest memories. Uh,
I hate this. I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
yeah, where, uh, Justin, I think it was eighth, not eighth, but
No, it's ninth
ninth
grade.
grade. He came to the lunch table and he looked a little bit sad. And we asked him, "Hey, what was wrong?" And he said,
My grandma just had a stroke.
and some country blumpkin next to us.
He's not a country bumpkin.
He's a skater,
He's just
bro.
he's just a yeah no
Now he's a skater, bro. But
skater bro.
but he started dying laughing. You know, like slapping the table as hard as
He
possible.
slapped the table and everybody told him, "Hey, man, that's not funny. Don't laugh at that." And he went, "Yeah, guys, you're right. It was just so random." But we tested him later in the day and we said, like, we just brought up the conversation of my grandma having a stroke and he died laughing even harder. And it wasn't random at that point.
At that point, he knew
He
it.
knew.
It. But I mean, that's honestly that's just kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie to look back on that.
Yeah. That's it's it's just crazy to think that some people's humor is like that, like
Yeah, like, hey,
a
do you
man
wanna,
getting
dude,
hit
this
by a
guy's
bus.
getting his head chopped off. Don't you think that's like super freaking funny? Like,
I
no,
mean,
dude, like no, that's not. It's weird.
yeah. You're right. That's weird.
Imagine if
That
anyone
stuff.
we knew would do that a lot.
I, yeah. What if someone did do that?
That'd be crazy. They'd probably be insane, honestly.
I'm. Yeah. I don't know anybody insane. I'm not in a strap suit right now. Like like have my arms crossed and I'm locked in. I'm not.
Do you
But
know that there's actually a way to get out of those?
oh really? How?
So if you, so it's best, it takes a lot of planning. If you know that like someone wants to like put a straight jacket on you, but you're like afraid of it, or like it's like a fear that you had to be put in a straight jacket. If you like modern straight jackets are kind of like flimsy, they're kind of weak. If you just like grow out your nails fairly long, then you will be able to essentially just like cut your way out almost.
Do you just like turn into Wolverine? No, no, no.
Not really
Uh,
Wolverine, but you just
no.
have like
Who
long
is
fingernails.
his arch nemesis? It was
Magneto?
like Cable or something. It was the dude who had like
What?
the claws.
I don't I don't know what you're talking about.
Wolverine's villain. I'm
Yeah.
gonna look this up.
It's gonna stick Magneto, dude, I'm not gonna
Sabretooth.
lie.
It's Sabretooth.
Sabretooth,
Sabretooth.
okay.
So Sabretooth can grow out his nails and like kind of like he's Wolverine but with bone fingers or something like that. Or like
Mhm.
claws.
I gotcha.
So do you say that you just have to become a super mutant to get
Not
out of
no,
those?
like you just grow out your fingernails, not like instantly, but like grow them out over like a long period of time. Not to with the point where they're like gross, but like where they could be where they're somewhat sharp, and if you run it across a piece of paper, it can like split it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It kind of like
Yeah,
that.
like someone we know. I
Don't want to
whatever.
name any
Keep the
names
name.
because he could
I
kick my
can't
butt right
name
now.
drop. I can't name drop. He wouldn't kick your butt. I don't think he's capable of it.
Dude, have you seen
Um,
him?
I I've seen him. I mean, he did deadlift 405. Remember that?
405. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He was
Quick
like shaking
on.
like a mud
He
though.
he,
I won't
he
lie.
said that he didn't even he claimed that, and then about 3 months later, he said he barely lifted off the ground. But I don't know. I don't think he had a witness. Either way,
He's a
he likes
classic textbook definition of government mandated gaslight. Well, not mandated, but government defined gaslighting.
he's also just uh part of the NPC project.
Honestly,
Um,
yeah.
he likes to paint his nails,
Mhm.
but he grows out his nails and he doesn't get off the paint. So I think his secret plan is to paint some psychedelic colors so that he has like multiple layers of colors down his hand so he can just like flail his fingers in front of somebody's face and entrance them.
Mhm. Almost like a hypnotist with watches and stuff.
Yeah,
Which
which
kind of brings up the background, as many of you guys can see right now. That I mean, it's kind of hypnotizing. I won't lie. I've been kind of just staring at it for a little while, entranced almost,
yeah, and
perplexed, sucked in, if you will.
and I think the whole reason why NASA doesn't want to release this photo, that kind of like moving photo to the public, is just because of how entrancing it is, and that we'll forget all our worries about Earth and just try to find that ourselves, like fly out of here.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I think it'd be cool if we could fly out of here. I've, I mean, me personally, with the project, they had to like expose me to like outer space radiation, so they took me out.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Um, I think just be just like how 1/3 of the population is gonna disappear from the Euphrates River, we should just Russia this podcast and kind of bomb out of our
yeah,
submarine.
yeah. As
So
many of you don't know, we actually are just in a submarine right now. I mean, it's kind of
yeah,
cool.
we're kind of like the hit video game series Fallout. You might say we're trying to avoid the nuclear winter that is soon to come.
Yeah.
So we're kind of just staying underwater.
I mean,
We still
yeah.
got ElDonko with us.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
he's a little tired right now. Hold on. Let me see if I can get him up. Do you hear that?
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
Is ElDonko?
No,
ElDonko.
that was the submarine.
I
I
know,
was
but
just,
he's still sleeping. You think he's all right?
okay, I got him up. So hey, ElDonko, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I know. We'll give you your chicken feed. I mean, your
Donkey
um,
feed,
your your cuisine. Yeah, your
cuisine.
French donkey feed.
Yeah. You know, just a, just you're just a silly little guy. Come on, say the line again, ElDonko.
Thank you, ElDonko.
Oh, what a funny man. All right, I think we're gonna have to, end this here.
I
Uh,
think I think we see a submarine on our radar. We might have to
get
look
out
out
of
for it.
here. I don't know. It really depends. I don't really see anything right now. Hold on.
No,
Give me a second.
I
Let me
think
look.
I see something. I think it might be a 64-man lifeboat. Have you seen those things? Those are built to last.
Oh yeah, you hear it. Do you hear
Yeah,
all
you
the?
hear that?
Did you hear that really long ping?
Yeah.
Okay, we got to get out of here. All right, we'll see you guys. All right, just want to thank these viewers for watching our podcast and have a really good night.
And if you talk about all of the government official talk we've talked about, we might have to flashbulb your memory.
Let's just say you're not gonna enjoy what happens.
You'll probably forget it.
Honestly, yeah.
All right. Good night, everyone. Sleep tight. Don't let us bite.
As tight as you can.